Moving on to John's Navy career as a lieutenant, and well, excuse me, an ensign at this point, we should mention that while at Northwestern University, he joined Chi Psi fraternity, became an officer in the fraternity, and lived at their house during his junior and senior year. He also became very active in the Catholic group Opus Dei and participated in their activities at their house in the north side of Chicago, was very active in their spiritual programs, and during 2 summers he spent time in Spain and in Mexico during doing a type of actual lay missionary kind of work.
You saw the Shrine of Guadalupe in Mexico, too, as I recall, Our Lady of Guadalupe.
Right. Now, updating us again, after the graduation, as previously mentioned, he was stashed at Northwestern, and for a year he rented an apartment in the south end of Evanston, and at the end of that year he was transferred to Pensacola in anticipation of beginning his flight training.
Could I add one thing here before we get into Pensacola?
Right.
At Northwestern, John had an opportunity to see the old family home on Library Place, 627, where my father was born and raised, and where I actually lived. This appears in our previous films in this series. And his Chi Psi fraternity house was, I think, a couple of blocks away from that. And both that fraternity house, the old family home, and the Navy headquarters were all very close together at the time.
Right, bordering on the campus of Northwestern, yes. Okay, after being in Pensacola for several months, John was transferred to Corpus Christi, Texas, where he began his flight training officially, and then to Milton, Florida, where these films will be about, where he was winged. And Chuck was going to tell us all about this programs.
Well, just to get in a few of the buzzwords here, he actually qualified in Pensacola in 1995. He was a member of, for fixed-wing aircraft. He was a member at that time of in Corpus Christi. I'm sorry. He was a member of the VT-27 so-called Boomer Squadron at Corpus Christi, and we have a picture here of his airplane, which hangs on the wall. And when he went to Pensacola, he qualified just before he was winged in helicopters. He belonged to the 8-Ball Squadron, HT-8. And he qualified at Whiting Field near Milton, Florida. So I think that pretty well covers it, Nancy. You anything to add?
No, but in some of the films, not the still pictures, but the films that you will see, the beginning takes place in his apartment in Milton, which was a really very nice, spacious apartment. And in those films, other flashbacks, Charlie, who had visited him earlier, had also gone to our old home in Orange Park, Florida, and in that he's talking to George about the, quote, old neighborhood where they lived for 3 years. And then also you will see some very fine filming of the helicopter hangars and so on, but maybe more on that in a few minutes.
Yeah. Nancy, unfortunately, was sick and couldn't make that trip for the winging. You'll see a picture of John talking to her on the telephone during the filming. So what's coming up are 3 snapshots plus the filming. And incidentally, we were very disappointed. Right at the very end where the winging occurred, they didn't actually show John getting his wings pinned on him by me. And but it does show John just before it breaks off, and it shows him being told where he'll go, namely to Jacksonville, Florida. So without further ado, we'll get into the flicks. Okay, did you have something you wanted to add, Nancy?
Well, I was just going to say that in these pictures, in the early part of the filming in the apartment, they're showing one of the hurricane pictures, and while John was stationed there, he actually endured 2 hurricanes. Also, you'll notice, although it is in Florida, it's February, and on the Gulf Coast it was quite cold, as you can see them bundled up.
Okay, very good. Okay, here in this first of 3 still pictures, we're standing, that's myself and George and John are standing in front of what I believe is a helicopter that John trained in. And this is, I think, a good group shot of all of the ones who got Wings of Gold. John is standing in the rear in the middle, you can see. And I think this is immediately after the ceremony. And finally, we have sort of a family shot here of John speaking to somebody on his right whom I really can't identify. I've seen him before, but I don't know who it is. And then myself and George and Stum.
All right, Albert Stum's career more or less is parallel John's, and he was stationed there at the time in Milton, Florida.
Whose camera is that?
Mine. I brought this one because, you know, during the ceremony, if I can get any pictures, they won't let flash these phones, so I use
Well, where'd you get that other one, the smaller one?
Show us that yawn there, George. There you go.
What's that?
Where'd you get the
Nice
smaller
yawn.
camera?
Excellent yawn.
Oh. Drugstore.
Seattle Film Works, what's that?
That's why I didn't buy
Tell you what, Joe, turn that light off over there.
Turn it off?
Yeah, I don't know if that's going to affect us or not.
This is a little weird, John.
Terry, you said you
Nice of you to be reading that, incidentally.
got 7 years from now?
Yeah.
Golly, John.
Get the old 7-year calendar going here.
For the area from God.
Wow.
Nice.
So cool.
Keep leaning over, Charlie. That's really good for the camera. We all appreciate that.
Sorry.
Oh, I didn't know you had that on. This is really cool.
What's that? Oh, yeah. Isn't that neat?
Uh-huh.
Let's see if I can zoom in on you here now. Hold up. Okay, here we go.
It's around like $700 or $800.
Here we go. There we go. There. What is that? It says Aaron Opal. All right. What's the date on there? August 3rd and October 4th. And I was there
That
for
eye
both
is
of them.
really well defined there too, right? Because it's hitting Pensacola.
I was walking on the beach there, you know, last month every day, and I tell you, there was a lot of destroyed. In fact, I took some pictures here.
Really?
A lot of destroyed houses.
Uh-huh.
Most of them had been demolished, but
Oh, is this?
that's their old place. Yeah. Actually, I got that in about a couple days.
Oh, really? Okay.
So anyway,
Looks really good.
who's this crazy guy standing next to that helicopter?
Huh.
Man, when we took this, it was pouring rain. This was the rain that was heading north that dumped 2 feet of snow.
We didn't
on
ride
it.
up in the helicopter.
No, but it was pouring rain that day. Remember, John?
Oh, yeah.
And that rain was all heading north to dump on Washington.
That's right. That was the
2 feet of
big
snow.
96
But then one
blizzard.
day I did. I went, that's
God, this looks a lot more tropical. than I
Well,
remember.
we didn't have these palm trees. They just put those in.
Yeah.
That's St. John's Field. Remember that?
Yeah,
They
sure
put
do.
a track on
Little
it.
hill.
That's the only different. They pretty much smoothed it out. Although way down there's a bit of hill, but that
Mhm.
track wasn't there.
No, that's
that's
right. Dad
Tom
used
Willard's.
to run around this part over here.
Yeah. Here's the Willard's old house too.
Really? God, that doesn't look familiar. They used to have a fence here too.
That's right, split rail.
Yeah. Wow, that's so funny.
Honk real loud now for us.
Oh, God.
There you go.
I can't help it. I can't help it.
There you go.
Now, what is?
Okay.
Zoom in on that. There we go. Oh, yeah. Got it all.
God, this is so weird. They just look so very different. I mean, the front yard looks a lot smaller. I guess everything when you go back looks smaller. It's a lot more trees and stuff than I remember.
Yeah, you're right.
What is this?
That's just looking up the street towards the bottom near the tracks. Remember the train tracks we used to play on?
Okay, so this is like our house would be right here.
No, our house would be further up and on the right. I'm way down
Oh,
at the
I
bottom
see.
of the
I
street.
see. Okay. Yeah, they had that ditch down there. The ditch still there?
Yeah, I'll show you. Take a picture of it. Yeah, I know.
Took a picture of a ditch.
Well, here, right here. Remember the tracks? There's
Yeah.
the tracks and there's the ditch.
Oh wow.
And the ditch is kind of filled in compared to what it used to be. I almost got killed. I mean, I had the car up there in the tracks,
No.
and I just went out to take a picture. This picture right here.
You had
All
the
of a sudden-
car
all
on
of a
the
sudden,
tracks?
All of a sudden, the things start clanging. You know, the gates.
God.
Well, I mean, I just figured I was just going to step
Yeah.
out, and all of a sudden the gates start clanging, and the
Uh.
gates start to come down. I jumped into that car like,
Yeah.
got that car out of there.
I bet there aren't too many auto trains that go by there anymore.
Well, no, they still run.
Do they?
Yeah. This was, I went out to Grove Park. That's not Orange Park, but my first year went to Grove Park.
Oh, I
It
know.
was the
I
black
went there.
school, and now
I
it,
went there. I went there. I thought those were all supposed to be temporary buildings right here.
No, that's temporary. You know how that goes.
Play position. This is in focus in there. Good thing it's not. Seeing it's Georgia we're trying to focus on. But No, I'm just playing with you. Focus in on these birth control glasses George is wearing here.
Yes.
He's trying to keep the hordes of Pensacola women away from the threat.
John, have you barred the door?
Listen to a little Irish music here.
Trying to stay warm in a very cold apartment.